So for today's video, we'll be catering to the LGBT baddies.
And we are catering to the whole entire community. We're catering to the DLs, the studs, the femmes, the Starbucks baristas. We're catering to all except the gooners. Y'all will be left behind to suffer.
I don't know who's teaching you to talk like this, but respect to that law. Leave the gooners behind. Anyways, today we'll be talking about some topics while we do the hair. Ignore my AirPod minimums. Yes, they're fake. Look, it's plastic.
Not a minimum.
But for today's video, we will be doing like some type of hair molding. What I want is like a high ponytail, and then the ponytail says G-A-Y. We don't know how we're gonna do it, but we'll get through this video. We're gonna test out some methods on how to mold the hair. Anyways, today we got the colors of the rainbow. So we got the blue,
we got the pink,
we got the orange,
we got the purple,
and we got the yellow,
and we got the green.
So the first method that we'll be trying is that we'll be using a flat iron. I heard you're supposed to put it on low heat, and then you're supposed to like mold the hair into the shape that you want. Okay, so we're gonna flat iron it, and yeah, it's on a low setting.
But you had it all on?
Roshana, why is it on? Roshana, why is it on? 450
You used to turn it on, you used to do everything with it. You used to do foolishness to blame me.
Wait, I did turn it on.
You didn't turn it down.
Roshana, you sabotaged me. Well, 200 is the lowest that I could go, so we should try molding it. Okay, so we should do the hook for the G. Y'all, it's not holding the shape. You ain't never had no chia pet brain, Okay, so we're going to be cutting out the word G-A-Y on the cardboard, and then we're going to wrap the hair around it, and that's going to be our mold for the hair.
So y'all done wrote the words. I'm going to cut it out.
Anyways, so I have my iPad because we're going to be talking about some topics, and all the topics are in my iPad. So the first one is... So we're going to be talking... What the fuck? She clearly want to talk about a topic, but we're not talking about that topic. Anyways, we're going to be talking about some topics, and the first topic is James Charles.
So James Charles is in his 50th scandal.
So we'll be reacting to it for the first time, and this time it's because he was accused of some nasty things which he later cleared up. So yeah,
I feel like James Charles is a final boss.
Right, and every year a new set of gurus are here to take him down. Year 1, it was Toddy. Year 2, it was Snapchat Boys. Year 3, it is this. What more do you want from us?
I do not support Evan Johnson in any way, shape, or form, not as more violent against women, and I sure as hell do not support the disgusting, deplorable, violent, heinous acts.
I'm so sorry, but I hate the way James Charles talks.
Right, like he's treating this like it's a sitcom for a Disney movie. Like they gave him a script and was like, I told an apology.
Like Sky Jackson Euphoria audition tape.
I do not support Evan Johnson in any way, shape, or form. Let me make that fucking clear.
Like the words he's using, deplorable, heinous. Like sis, relax.
The conversation has completely shifted focus away from Kayla Malik and how she was brave enough to speak out about what she went through to how James Charles involved. The downfall, By Sister 2.0, where's the apology video?
He keep looking to the right like he drafting this apology.
To how James Charles involved. The downfall, By Sister 2.0, where's the apology video?
I think he was doing that because he wants to hit every point because this was about someone defaming his character. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Okay, so he said that they weren't really friends or they weren't that close, which is why he came off so dense in the conversation.
Me and Kayla Malik just weren't close friends.
Girl, I hate my man.
Can I have him now? That response reminds me of old men that be on the content creators on Twitter talking about, me next.
Look, we're done.
We've never hung out one-on-one. We've never had a deep conversation. I just really didn't know her that well to be able to interpret these messages and have a better idea of what was actually happening behind closed doors. And I
Still the auto response with the reason that you give, but it's not the worst thing you could have done.
Also, this conversation seems a bit serious.
Very vague.
I don't know. I guess this is how she coped with trauma, though. Okay, so we're wrapping it here around the letters. So yeah.
I really hate to admit it, but I did have a brief friendship with Evan Johnson, and eventually he told me that he wanted to come out to LA to escape and get his mind off of things for a weekend, so I invited him out.
Wait a minute,
I was angry
hold
with
on.
myself that I ever allowed that man into my home. Evan Johnson and I did not have sex while he was here, and I did not, under any circumstances, pay Evan Johnson for sexual favors.
I was saying that it's so easy for someone to lie and put James Charles in a situation like this because of the history that he has with straight men and because of the simple fact that he's desperate.
And yeah, we get it. You go on Grindr, you meet a stranger, you get flipped on your back by Kia, you get plowed on a twin-sized bed, then you get sent home in an Uber.
Where are you learning to talk like this?
It doesn't matter. The moral of the story is, don't chase a man.
Exactly. When I think about a chase a man, I be like, wait. I tell myself, for myself, say, yo.
Are you a dog?
Are you dog?
Are you a dog? Why are you chasing a man?
Where are you fetching?
Come on.
I think we're getting carried away because this is not a part of the video. We're gonna kill two birds with one stone. One person will be embroidering and the next person will be doing my hair.
All we did was sit on the couch, order food, watch movies, but over the course of the weekend, I slowly started to notice that some of his stories were not exactly lining up.
Nah, that's not how it went. He heard I don't like boys.
And stop thinking with this head and start thinking with this head.
When he started to think straight, he connected them dots real fast. He was like, nah, you gotta go boots to the baba.
Y'all look at it so far.
A couple of days later, I started getting messages on Instagram from Zach Sellers, Evan's best friend, basically warning me that Evan had lied to both of us and telling me that I should cut him off.
Okay, let's pause to read that text. Evan texted me and said that you told him to stay quiet and that Kayla is a liar. And James didn't see this until Zach posted a video, and when James saw, James DM'd him and said, he's obviously manipulating and lying to everyone. I should have never spoke to him, but you were in a car with him, so I don't think it's fair that you're making a video accusing me of being some monster when he had you convinced too.
James made a good point, because if you know he's a liar and a manipulator, why would you take his side?
Exactly. You literally warned him and told him about this dude only to make a TikTok later assuming that him and Kayla's ex were together. That's not weird?
I feel like he only did it because James didn't respond to his DM.
But it's like James is a celebrity. That's like someone DMing Beyonce being like, Becky ain't the only thing Jay-Z wanted. He wanted this necky. You think Beyonce gonna respond? This Zach dude has been deemed as messy. You never thought the day would come where we take James Charles' side. I must say, I didn't like how James Charles invited him over. I think that he was trying to get freaky deaky. But had James Charles known that he actually did those things, I don't think that he would have invited himself over, only because of the fact that, like, you know, the history that James Charles had with being cancelled, and I think he want to avoid a scandal as much as possible.
He claims to have seen a video on Evan's phone of him having sex with me.
Whoa! That is a huge claim. He needs to be sued.
Sued into oblivion.
Sue his ancestors.
Sue into generational debt. Yeah, he's good. I don't think that they're gonna have generational anything because that bloodline cut off. But you need to be sued to the point where you reincarnate and you still gotta pay money. You reincarnate as a bird and you gotta donate twigs. You reincarnate as a pig, you gotta donate mud. You reincarnate as a lion, you gotta donate a kidney. You reincarnate as a chicken, you gotta donate eggs. You need to be sued because the shit that you are saying with no claims, it is reckless and you are a menace. We told Rashana Carr about the thing. Why does it look like this? What? Looks like shit. Oh my god. Rashana, by the time I'm done with my hair, I'm gonna need a hair transplant from Turkey. You are brushing my hair like bah, 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 bah.
Y'all don't have a teaspoon of hair no more.
Exactly. I got a wooden spoon full of hair now. Oh, okay. The way he got like a skid mark, a grease, and then the whole hair dry.
Just be cool, just breathe.
Okay.
That's like rounding 2 coats in a dog pen.
Anyways, next topic, the DL Whisperer. I have some notes. I feel like DL Whisperer is full of shit. In the beginning, like, he was making sense, but then coming up to the end, and it's like, girl, I feel you just trying to drag this little series that you got going on, trying to milk the monetary gain from it.
Men who are extremely homophobic, like men that when a gay nigga come around, they just start irking out. But they're the ones that are heavily DL because something inside them, they're fighting the demons inside them right now to withstand the urges to find something attractive. Like when Christians say get behind me Satan, they're about to say get behind me gay boy because they don't want to see that shit. If you could check your man's phone successfully, don't go to the messages because DL men, they hide stuff really well. What you need to do, you need to go to the app store and you need to search up Grindr, you need to search up Jacked, and if it has that little cloud emoji, you're in trouble. If he's always going out at night between 12 to 3, he's DL because a lot of DL men, they like to meet up with, you know, a whole bunch of punks at night and they like to drag them inside that car and bait them. They'll tell you that you going inside that car to have a conversation. Next minute, you communicating with some balls. People naturally look at stuff, so if you're driving in a car and then you're seeing like bystanders like, you know, drive by or whatever the case is, just like look at your man because like if they see something they're attracted to, they'll do a quick look, you know, boom. So like, if they see a woman that they like, they'll give her a quick look and be like, you know, they won't like look at her like eye her down, but it's like they'll do a quick look. It just happens naturally. So if they're looking at boys, it's just something that they naturally do. They don't even know that they're doing it, I'm telling you. So like if a DL man thinks that you're like insecure physically or mentally, they're gonna go after that because they usually feed on people with like insecurity issues because they have the mindset that these people are gonna go back and just accept bullshit 24/7. So if you are the type that you have like a hateful mindset, they're gonna see that what the fuck going on back there. Anyways, they usually go after women with loser mentalities, women that are hateful or whatever the case is because like this one can be either or because men are just angry in general, but DL men are usually angry, probably fighting some type of internal conflict. This is a strange one, but DL men have like this weird obsession with the back door and messing around with studs or trying to turn studs out. I think the reason that they're trying to turn studs out or whatever the case is because it validates like their feeling for like wanting to get on something masculine, but it still has feminine parts. That's like my assumption. I don't... Just because a regular man has these traits or some of these traits, it doesn't mean that they're DL, but like these are just like traits that DLs have in common, if that makes sense.
Anyways, we're doing the taper fade hairline because, you know, we represent the studs. The studs love the taper fades. They saying the black studs, but the white ones, I don't know if you call white girl studs, the white butches, they love them a flannel button to the top. So we gonna put this on too. Yeah. Oh, I need my white chalk. Give me white chalk. I like this.
That hairline crispy. Yo.
We got it to stand up on the hair.
Cute. Thanks for watching today's video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and follow us on all social medias at officialshana_ and
LaBreezy, that's my stud name, but my actual Instagram is Dons.life, aka Shalissa. My birth name. Period.
you need to listen.
Bounce that ass up, shake them titties up.
It is, y'all. Thanks for watching today's video. Like this hairstyle. 1. Rate it 1 to 10. I think it's a 10.